Hey guys, hey everyone, how are we doing? So, my name is Greta Bereisaite and I'm a mindset and business coach. And I thought today I'll do a live on how not to feel lonely. As Christmas is coming, let me just do something. Christmas is coming, and a lot of people are feeling lonely. We maybe some of you are living in a different country from your parents. Like Christmas can be a lonely time of year. And actually, I'm not going to talk here just about Christmas. We can feel lonely when we are in a relationship, when we have friends. Like we can feel lonely at any time basically in our lives, right? But I'm going to talk about how not to feel lonely, what to do in order not to feel lonely, and why you could potentially be feeling lonely. Okay, so I see some people coming up. Please say hi. If you ever felt lonely or you have any questions towards that, let me know. You can, say it in the little chat over there. I would love to see your comments. So, how not to feel lonely? I'll share it from my own experience. Guys, I live by myself, right? I am always by myself. I am majority of the time, 90% of the time by myself. In London, like I meet some people sometimes if I feel the need to it. I meet friends and stuff, but to be honest, like I'm kind of really by myself. And I'm not a lonely type of person. I like to be social, right? So, what is interesting, I'm always by myself, but I never feel lonely. So, how does this happen? How does this work, right? And I remember when in the past, let's say I was in a happy relationship, right? And I had friends and I had a job and everything seemed fine, but there was a lot of times when I would really feel so lonely, and I would kind of be thinking like, why am I feeling so? I would actually cry because I would felt so lonely. I would be like, why am I feeling so lonely? What is wrong? Why am I so like something is missing? I'm a bit unhappy, right? Whereas now I'm always by myself, but like people when they complain I'm lonely or this or that, I'm like, I'm never lonely. Like I understand that you feel lonely and I get that, but I'm not never lonely. Why is that? It's really fascinating and it's really cool. When you know the secret, is really, really cool because it means you will never feel lonely if you will follow these steps. Okay, I feel lonely in all relationships. You see, Karishma, you see, it's just kind of how it happens. And I used to feel the same way. I actually remember having a happy relationship and feeling lonely, not when I was with a guy, but when I was like by myself and stuff. So, why I don't feel lonely anymore? One of the most important human needs is to feel important. Okay? We feel lonely when we feel not important and we don't feel valued. Okay? Actually, written it down, and we don't feel seen. Okay? This is when we feel lonely. Now, for me right now, with the coaching that I do, with the business that I do, I have a lot of followers, I have a lot of subscribers, I have a lot of people who are getting in touch with me every single minute. I actually put my phones on airplane mode quite a lot. Otherwise, I would not be able to concentrate or focus because it's like continuous, it never stops. However, not just that people get in touch with me, I provide them with a lot of content, like I coach a lot, provide them with a lot of value. And when they see my value and content and when it changes their lives, they come to me with a lot of gratitude, right? So when they come to me with gratitude, I get my need fulfilled, which is feeling valued. I'm also seen a lot because I'm literally on every social media. Everybody sees me. So it fulfills my other need, right? And then the third one is feeling heard. So I feel heard as well, right? So this is literally the secret of not being lonely. Providing content by like providing quality content or changing people's lives in a way that people see you as an important person to be around, an important person who can give you value. And when you feel important and heard and seen, you don't feel lonely. Okay. Yeah. And the other way, so I hope it's not going to be a too quick of a video. So you guys, if you have any questions towards loneliness, please ask me. If not, this video might be a bit of a quick video. However, it's not how long it is the value that it provides. Anyway, the other thing, what I was going to say, oh yes, the other thing, what makes you feel good, I think, especially for women, a woman's need is, it comes kind of from old days, which we don't really do much anymore. We tend to really ignore our natural instincts and ignore that we need to be self-aware and what it is to be a woman, and explore ourselves as being women and feminine and what our needs are, and like give ourselves those needs. Anyway, one of the most important female needs is to share, and care and nurture, right? We are very relationship focused, not just like opposite sex relationships, just relationship focus in general. So like this is why the moms have the babies, right? It's the bond, it's the relationships, all of that. So what is really important for women is to gather together as women and to be able to share, talk, care, nurture each other. This is what makes us feel important and good. So it's very important, like if you don't have a good female community, to look for those communities, or look for friends that you can share and care and all nurture and all of that. This is what I actually do. I get my loneliness need fulfilled through my business, because it's, I'm never feeling lonely. I think it didn't make sense what I said, but I think you got it. And a couple times a week, I see my friends, sometimes for business talk, but a lot of times just to share in the community and to feel good, just to feel good, to feel as a woman, sharing, caring, nurturing, listening, giving back, fulfilling these type of needs. It's hard when you were in a relationship and break up. I have been single for a month. On the weekends, I feel lonely because I miss him. But you feel lonely because you are depending on him to make you happy, right? This is why you feel lonely over weekends. If you would have not depend on him to make, yes, you can miss somebody, that's normal, but if you would have not depend on him to make you happy, and you would be making yourself happy instead, you would not be feeling lonely over weekends. Okay, like a breakup is not gonna make you feel lonely. You yourself make yourself feel lonely because you don't know how to fulfill your own needs. Hey Greta, thank you for your good advice. When he is stressed, he pulls away. Then I feel lonely and I'm sad because he's okay. This is not dating advice channel. Okay, this is like life coaching, business coaching, mindset coaching. But again, this is the same thing. When somebody's pulling away, any kind of person, whether it's a guy, family member, anyone, when they pull away, you need to fulfill yourself at being, fulfill your needs. As I said, like I am by myself all the time. If I would not know how to fulfill my needs, and if I would depend on other people to make me happy, I would be the most miserable person in the world. Like I would be totally depressed. I would probably be committing a suicide right now because I am by myself all the time, right? But I know how to fulfill my needs, and I am very happy at being by myself. And when people come into my life, I'm very careful with who's coming into my life. If I see it's a wrong person, I'm like, no way, I'm spending time with you, because I cherish my bubble. I cherish what I have. So this is what I mean. Like, you feel lonely because you don't know how to fulfill your needs. You don't know how to make yourself happy. It's all about that. And again, how not to feel lonely. You need to feel feeling important, right? So you need to think, how can I feel important? We feel important when we give value to others. And when that value is so big that people come to you with gratitude. So you feel seen, you feel heard, and you feel important, you feel valued, which is very important human needs. If you don't feel valued, if you feel undervalued, if you feel not heard, not seen, if you're actually in a toxic, abusive relationship, or you're in a family where you're taken for granted, you will feel lonely. Okay, so in order to feel good about ourselves and not to feel lonely, we need to provide value. This is why I say, guys, the more you give, the more you receive, right? It's not about, it's just about making yourself feel good. That's like the ultimate happiness. This is why I'm so happy. I give content, I provide value, I provide so much free content and so much free value. And when these women come to me like, Greta, you changed my life, you did this, you did that, it makes me feel amazing. I feel so important. Like, I'm the most important person. Makes me feel so good. I'm jumping up and down. All my needs are fulfilled. Okay, I don't think like, oh my God, I'm by myself, somebody pulled away, or this person is not getting in touch with me. People are trying to get in touch with me all the time. We have to wait, sometimes a couple of days. I do for everyone, but they don't, so I feel lonely. You can't give someone who doesn't appreciate you. If you give someone and they don't appreciate you, you stop giving that person. And guys, actually, giving with expectation is not giving, it's a manipulation. Like, for example, there is one homeless guy near my house. I give him a lot. I actually love giving him. When I'm going to the shop, I'm actually thinking, is he gonna be there? And I know if I'll give him some cash, or I'll get him some fruit or some juice or some coffee, or something, or he's got a dog, if I'll get him something, I'll get something for that dog. I know the dog will be happy. I'll see a smile. I know he's always very grateful. It's gonna make me feel so important. It's gonna make me feel so good. What am I getting back from it? I'm getting a smile back. I'm getting a gratitude back. In life, happiness is in giving, is not in receiving. It's not about just take. The more you give, the more you receive. And also I have my mindset like this, like, okay, if I gave you so much, if I give you this much, the world, the universe will multiply it for me. We will give it so much more back. So when you have this type of mindset, you're not scared of giving. Yeah, any more questions? Any more questions? How is everyone feeling? Is anyone feeling lonely over Christmas period or Christmas time? It's all up to you guys. You all are in charge of your happiness. You all can change that. Unfortunately, I think majority of us are miserable and lonely because we have not been taught how to make ourselves happy. So it's not that something is wrong with us, is we just not been taught like that. I remember it was really crazy. I actually remember when I was 20 years old, we moved to, not 20, 19 or 18, right? And we moved from Lithuania to Ireland. And at that time, I loved Lithuania. I loved everything about it, right? But my parents decided to move to Ireland for the kids, right? I didn't speak any English. I could not care less about Ireland. I was so happy in Lithuania. I had a big friend circle. It was amazing. Like we moved to Ireland when I had the best year of my life in Lithuania. So I remember moving to Ireland and feeling so depressed. First, because the culture was very different. Like now I'm very changed, but back then I was like this natural Lithuanian, this patriotic Lithuanian, So then I changed. The culture was different. I didn't speak the language. I was sad and depressed and feeling very lonely. And because I did not know how to make myself happy, and I was rebellious. I didn't want to accept this other culture. I was looking at it and I was criticizing everything about it because I had that type of different mindset. I had very Lithuanian mindset. So when I come to this country, which is totally opposite in so many ways, I was like, what is that, And I felt so lonely and so unhappy. And one of the reasons why was because I did not accept it. I didn't want to accept this culture. I was cherishing myself as Lithuanian so much that I didn't want to accept this culture, right? So I felt very isolated and very lonely. And my parents had a very good mindset, but we didn't know how to coach that mindset. So I remember my mom actually coming into my room and being angry with me that I'm feeling sad, right? She was actually angry with me. And I had this victimizing mindset, and I used to think like, how dare you to be angry with me when I'm feeling sad? I'm going through so much, and I feel so sad and, like a bit more light. And I feel like, so sad, I'm going through so much. I'm unhappy. Let me be unhappy. And my mom was so angry with me at being unhappy. And she used to tell me these things. She said, I would be like, well, I'm sad, I don't have my friends and I don't speak the language and like this and that. And my mom used to say to me, well, make yourself happy. She would, with this attitude, she would have this attitude and she would say like, well, make yourself happy. And at that time, I did not understood it. So secretly I used to blame my mom. I was like, she's not understanding. She's not this. She's not that, right? But now when I think about it, 15 years later, right, or 16 years later, I'm like, actually, my mom was right. She was right. Maybe the way she was saying this to me was not the nicest way. Maybe she did not know how to coach me or how to show me how to be happy, how I should change my mindset towards that. But she was correct. She was right. It was my problem that I was feeling unhappy, and I actually was sabotaging myself by being like this and not accepting this culture. Because it's like when you don't accept things, this is when you're sabotaging yourself and you're like rebellious and you stay unhappy in that circle, So that was a very good point. And as Sadhguru actually said, for example, if, for example, a team is playing football and you come into the team and you're rebellious against the rules and you're carrying the ball around, you're not going to fit in. And, people will look at you like, oh, she's not fitting in. And you're going to feel like, this is like, I don't want to fit in. So you will be unhappy and none of the other people will want to spend time with you. So then I actually started accepting, starting to have I was a very close-minded lady. So when I came from Lithuania to Ireland, I was like, my mind was so close-minded. I was like in the box from every angle. And so then I opened myself up and I was like, okay, what's this and what's this and what's this and what's that? This is when I started being happier. So, but yes, it's up to you to make yourself happy. But accepting things is one of the ways to make yourself happy. But the most important one is, again, is being important, is providing value to others, being heard and seen. And the best way to provide value to others is by giving. Like when I started my channel 2 years ago, I actually still was feeling lonely. Not 3.5 years ago, when I started all these videos, I was still feeling very lonely, right? Because I was giving on my channel, right? I was giving a lot of value. I had videos coming in, but I didn't have that many followers. So I would get like very little amounts of gratitude, or saying like, oh, Greta, like you helped me here or you helped me there. It would be like maybe once a week I would get like gratitude from someone, right? So I was giving and giving and giving, and I was still feeling lonely because like I was not feeling valued that much, like not important, not seen, not heard. But when you grow and the more you give and the word spreads, this is when you start feeling more and more important, and you don't feel lonely anymore. Yeah. I do have, okay, cool. So guys, do you have any more questions? If not, I'm actually gonna go. I think it's a very good video to share, especially nowadays, because majority of people feel lonely at some points in their lives. So yeah, after I finish this video, please share it with your friends, with people who need it. I know already quite a few girls who I need to share this video with, because we always complain how lonely we feel. So yeah, okay girls, I'm gonna go. So like it if you liked it, let me know in the comments below what did you think. And have a Merry Christmas, because this is the last video before Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas, give and get gratitude in return. And that's how we're gonna feel important, seen, heard, and not lonely anymore.